to Retire Smart Maryland. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I am joined today by Prashant Sabapathy and Nick Interbickler of Elite Income Advisors. And to our viewers at home, amidst all of the chaos that we are experiencing today in the economy overall, the world, if you will, it's forcing a lot of Americans to perhaps delay their retirement. Well, in delaying their retirement, sometimes there's some regrets that come into play. So today's show, we're going to talk about the regrets that people have if they've pushed those retirement years out. Prashant, how are you today?
I'm doing great, thanks.
So good to see you.
Likewise, absolutely.
Thank you. And Nick, how are you?
Fantastic.
Great.
Great to see you again.
It's so nice to have you both in the studio. I just love all of our topics each week. It's so informative, and I know the viewers and your radio listeners really enjoy everything that we're sharing. So today's study, this actually came from a survey from WTW, found that the financial concerns for older Americans to work longer or phase into retirement gradually because of everything happening, number one, the regret that they currently have is they wish they had retired earlier. Wow, let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, look, I think, having gone through the pandemic, I think it's offered people a lot more perspective on, quite frankly, how much time any of us has left, right? And so if you just keep on delaying, just in pursuit of accumulating a bigger nest egg, it's sometimes a harsh reality when we know somebody that has passed away too soon or something like that, right? So
absolutely.
I think a lot of people are wishing that they would have retired earlier, not just from the health standpoint, but just because there's so much to do in this world, right?
Yes.
And so you want to be able to maximize the amount of time to be able to reasonably enjoy those different things. I know we're going to talk about the different things that people are doing, but retiring early is a big deal. We always say that when we put a plan together, that plan is to help you get retired as quick as possible. Now, that doesn't mean that you actually have to do it, but we want you to have the peace of mind, the confidence to say that, hey, if I have 3 bad days at work, I know that my financial plan allows me to quit and retire comfortably and retire smart without having to worry about it. And so, the earlier we retire, the more time we're going to have to be able to enjoy our life. And it's not surprising to me that this is a big regret for folks.
Absolutely. And Nick, I was going to say, obviously, when you're retiring younger and sooner, you've got the energy, you're healthy.
That's right.
Yeah. It's your go-go years.
Well, there's been
right?
studies run about when is the most, looking back in time, when they interview retirees that have reached a certain age, and the age bracket that they say they wish they could repeat again is like 60 to 70. And it's because they have money, they're healthy, their kids are out of the house, and they have a plan for what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And we know as we get older, typically we're going to not be as spry, we're not going to be able to get around as much. So if you have travel plans, I hear our clients talk about their travel plans, and I'm a little envious. I'm only, not quite 50 yet, but I look at this and I go, wow, you really are making the most of your retirement.
Yes.
We have one client that went on a 70-day cruise to Australia and New Zealand, and I'm like, wow,
awesome.
I can't imagine being away that long from home.
Wow.
But no regrets there. So, you got to plan accordingly, but we don't know what tomorrow will hold for us. So why not enjoy the fruits of all your labor? All that money, you can't take it with you.
That's very true. That's very true. Prashant, and actually, Nick, I'm going to take this to you if you don't mind. You're next. They wish they had spent more when they first retired.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Number 2 regret.
So again, you can't take it with you, and we have a mix of clients. I've had clients say they want to bounce their last check, which I think that's funny.
Yes.
But we have clients that say, I want to leave my children or my grandchildren, and everybody's different. But if you can't take it with you and there's going to be money left regardless, spend more, and if your plan is put together properly, we talk about this all the time, you know what the money in is, you know what the money out is going to be, and you have excess, why not do those things that you've always dreamt of? We want you to have the most fulfilling retirement that you possibly can imagine.
I think one of the hardest things to do as a retirement advisor is change the mindset of savers. Like, our clients are really, really great savers, okay? Like, if you're not a great saver, you're probably not a great fit for us, because most of our clients turn out to be really good savers. And as we know, saving is a mindset, right? It's something that you actually have to proactively work towards. And if you're a saver for 30 or 40 years, it's hard to transition into retirement and go from being a saver to a spender. I have this great client, and he says to me, I can't afford to take money out of my retirement accounts to go to Italy or go to Europe. I've always wanted to do this trip. And I'm like, no, but you actually do have plenty of money. He's like, well, but what if the market goes down? What if taxes go up? But we've planned for all that. We've already created his plan, but just getting him in the mindset to shift from saving to spending. I mean, he still saves. He's retired. He saves $1,500 a month now.
Wow.
And to get him to go from saving to spending is like a big emotional hurdle that we have to help him through. So I always thought it was just really interesting. If you're a saver, if you're a really good saver, you're probably a really good fit for our firm. But it like Nick said, it all comes back to having that written plan in place. Look, I can't force you to spend money, but one thing we can do is I can put a plan together that at least allows you to spend it when you're ready to, when you get to that phase of life.
Sure. And Prashant, this next one, number 3, regret. They wish they took better care of their health.
Aren't we all kind of in this position, right? I mean, look, I think you have to prioritize this. And, we've all been through our own health journeys, so to speak.
Absolutely.
I mean, my family has had health issues. And so I fully understand the importance of trying to take care of yourself. Interesting statistic. National Council on Aging says 80% of adults age 60 and up have 2 or more chronic conditions. Okay. And that could really underscore the importance of trying to take care of yourself. I mean, it's all about we call it the health and the wealth connection when you get to retirement. You can't enjoy your retirement if you don't have the wealth to do so. But if you have the wealth but not the health, it makes it really difficult. So we have to have a kind of a cohesive structure here when we get to retirement. You want to have good health. You want to have a lot of wealth. And that's what's going to lead to the most fulfilling version of your retirement lifestyle.
And also it says the importance of staying active and prioritizing nutrition to end endless doctor visits before and after and during retirement. Nick, we talked about this recently. The importance of making some lifestyle changes allows you to just really live a fulfilling life.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest things we probably have to face in our lives is you get used to a routine.
That's right.
And, I drive back and forth. Prashant drives back and forth to different offices on a weekly basis. And I used to stop and pick up a hamburger or a chicken sandwich and eat it in the car, which is just horrible. And, I had a self-reckoning and I said, I can't keep doing this. I need to do better. So it's hard. It's hard to make a change. But when you retire and you've worked your entire life, you don't want to be in the doctor's office every other week.
Right.
Especially when people are concerned about healthcare costs rising in retirement. I mean, you have to be as preventative as you can possibly be. And look, I'm no health expert, okay? And I'm not exactly the perfect picture of health either, but you go to the doctor and they tell you what's going on, right? If you want to help to minimize your healthcare costs, you got to make sure you're taking care of yourself. And I think that's something we can all strive towards working towards. Yeah.
Absolutely. So very true. Well, Prashant, we're going to take our first commercial break, but you and Nick have a very special offer to the clients at home today, the watchers, if you will.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's called the Retire Smart Roadmap. And really what it is, it's a written financial plan. Okay. I think a lot of times people think that they have a plan in place, but it's not clearly written out somewhere that you can reference. This is what we call the Retire Smart Roadmap. What it consists of is an income for life plan to map out your income each and every year for the rest of your lifetime. We'll take into account taxes and inflation. We're going to put together a risk analysis for you, help you understand how much risk your portfolio is subjected to in a worst case projected market. We'll also talk about the threat of rising taxes and how rising taxes could erode your retirement savings. So if any of these things are of a concern for you, you need to pick up the phone right now. The phone number is 833-308-5200. You dial that phone number, you will be able to schedule a free consultation with our team of specialists at Elite Income Advisors. You come in to visit, We'll help you put this written plan together. You determine whether or not we're the right fit for you. At any point in the process, you have the ability to say, hey, this isn't the best fit, and we will go our separate ways. That appointment's totally free of cost. You just have to dial this phone number, 833-308-5200. You can also pull out your smartphone. You can scan the QR code, schedule your visit with us that way as well.
Prashant, thank you so much. Nick, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, that number to call is 833-308-5200. If you don't have a pen handy, go ahead, grab your smartphone, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to the landing page of Elite Income Advisors, and you can claim your spot accordingly. We're going to take a very short commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk more in depth about some of the delays or the regrets people have when they delay their retirement. Stay tuned.
Some people don't really know what they need. It's not about the money. It's more like what you like to do when you retire.
I always say to people, our process is not really designed to turn every single person into a client. We're just trying to determine whether or not we're the right fit for you. When we talk with someone, it's about determining what our goals and dreams and objectives are, and then really putting together a concrete, balanced plan with a strong foundation of income.
Not everyone comes to the office becomes a client, right? You know, we may not be a good fit for that people.
Anytime you're working with any advisor or considering working with an advisor, you have to align on certain things. But that doesn't happen with every single person that we meet with.
Whatever is going to make you happy, because there is so much time in the retirement that you can still be active and doing a lot of stuff. And at the end, if you have all the income you need coming in to do all the things you love, then I believe that you're in great shape.
Welcome back to Retire Smart Maryland. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Prashant Sabapathy and Nick Interbickler of Elite Income Advisors. And we're talking about some of the regrets that people have if they have delayed their retirement. So this next one, I think this is very interesting. Regret number 4, they wish they had taken up a hobby, Nick. They wish they had taken up a hobby.
Yeah, so we talked about on a previous episode the biggest fear that people had was retirement, bigger than dying.
Yes.
And one of the things we talked about was the lack of or the loss of social interaction. So, you know, we have clients that continue to work well past normal retirement age, right? And everybody's different. But some people do that because they're not sure or they love their job so much. Some people go, well, I don't have anything else. I don't have a purpose.
Right.
So whether it's pickleball, which is huge in our area.
Huge.
By far, the number one hobby we've seen is clients playing pickleball.
Yes.
And I'm like,
astronomical numbers.
But, you know, spending time with your grandkids, it's not really a hobby, but it's something I hear our clients talk about all the time. And spending time with younger people, I think, makes you feel young at heart as well. So
of course.
Finding things that fulfill you,
yes.
Whether it's travel, playing golf, which Prashant and I love to do, pickleball, cooking classes. I mean, there's so many different things, but it's kind of, sometimes it takes stepping out of your comfort zone, but you need to have these.
You know, I was meeting with a client and she started volunteering in the community, and that is something that like she never got to do while she was working, just because she had no time. And now that she's retired, she's able to like dedicate more time to it, right? And it's, number one, it's fulfilling. She feels, and she is, doing something really good in the community. And so just things like that, like Nick said, you can step out of the comfort zone a little bit. You can do some things that maybe you never had the opportunity to do. You can experiment with it. Try different things out. Something will stick. And that's ultimately what leads to a fulfilling retirement. So, you know, you have to have those hobbies because like every day becomes a weekend when you're retired, and that's a lot of time to fill if you don't have anything to do. So
very, very true. Very true. And I love how you said fulfilling. I love that, Nick. Also, number 5, Prashant, they wish they had traveled more. That's one of the regrets that people have. They wish they had traveled more.
You know, for years, I've been learning from our clients just as much as they've been learning from us. And when I hear that I wish I had traveled more, what it's forced me and my wife to do is travel more now, right? So, you know, we're fortunate enough to visit the Amalfi Coast last year in Italy, and we, you know, have been over to Europe and London and Paris. But the impetus for all of that was our clients telling us, hey, I never got to do this level of traveling, and now my health's not so good, so I can't withstand an 8 or 9 hour flight. I mean, you want to be able to do that. Traveling is such a great way to see what goes on around the world, different cultures. And some of my most favorite interactions with our clients is we'll sit down for a review and they'll tell me about the places that they've been.
Yes.
We had a lot of clients serve in the military, and they would tell us about their travels as a part of their service to our country. And I always thought that was just the most intriguing thing. Getting to travel the world is such a great experience to see how other people live. And it's just something that I think is, again, very, very fulfilling when we get to retirement.
Most
One
definitely.
of the ones I love the most is our clients, talking about not spending more when they were younger, but the clients of ours that will go to like the Outer Banks with their kids and their grandkids, and the memories that creates. And that that seems like something I would want to do, as I hopefully down the line will have grandkids, not too soon, but that's just a great way to, you can't see them enjoy it when you're gone.
Right.
So travel with your family, travel with your grandkids, and just,
And you know what? I'm so glad that you said that, because what it comes down to, I think, is at a time now where it feels like inflation is crippling and there's not extra money to be able to do things. How fulfilling must it be as a parent, as a grandparent, to say, you know what, we're taking the whole family down to the Outer Banks this year.
Yes.
We're going to the beach with the grandkids. And you know what, we're going to pay for everybody. But you know what, you have to have the flexibility built into your financial plan to do that, right?
Absolutely.
And you won't know that you have that flexibility unless you have a written plan in place. Folks, if you don't know whether or not you have this written plan in place, or you're not sure about the work that an advisor has done for you several years ago that you've never revisited, pick up the phone, give us a call. It's 833-308-5200. Does your financial plan allow you the flexibility to make your retirement as fulfilling as possible? If you don't know the answer, pick up the phone, give us a call. Come in, visit with our team of specialists. We'll put together that Retire Smart roadmap and start to answer those very important questions about how you can make your retirement as fulfilling as possible.
Prashant, thank you so much. And Nick, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, that number to call is on your screen, 833-308-5200. We want you to have a fulfilling retirement. This is your opportunity to take advantage of that complimentary consultation. Again, 833-308-5200. If you don't have a pen handy, go ahead, grab your smartphone, click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to the landing page for Elite Income Advisors, and you can claim your spot accordingly. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about some year-end tips for people that are going into pre-retirees and retirees. Stay tuned.
We have a great team. First of all, we wouldn't be able to do anything that we do without our fantastic team of both advisors and service and support specialists.
We are trying to hire the best of the best, because also the servicing the clients is an important part of our business.
And once you become a client, you'll not only have interaction with your advisor on an ongoing basis, but our great support team.
And we are very proud of that what we do at the Elite Income Advisors, the service. Whenever someone calls, whatever they need, they don't need to call the 1-800 number. We want them to call us. We'll take care of whatever they need.
Marrying the financial plan with a good tax plan and a qualified CPA, and then having a support team to help you through navigating through retirement, that's what I think it's all about. And that's what really creates a comprehensive financial plan.
Welcome back to Retire Smart Maryland. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Prashant Sabapathy and Nick Interbickler of Elite Income Advisors. And in this segment, we're going to talk about some year-end tips for pre-retirees and retirees, because we know a lot of people are concerned right now about political landscape, inflation, just everything that's happening right now with interest rates. So this segment will be specifically for you. Prashant, I find this to be very interesting because obviously people have a lot of uncertainty and unrest, but there are some tips that people can follow to help kind of alleviate some of those. The first one would be adjusting portfolios in this uncertain time that we are in.
I think year end is always a great check-in point. I love year end because our office gets so busy around the end of the year in the fourth quarter, and I love staying busy. I mean, I took a week of vacation over the summer. By day 3, I was ready to be back in the office.
Right.
So year end is always a lot of fun around the office because it's nonstop. Getting an appointment's actually really difficult around that time. But look, I think especially heading into election season, anytime you have the potential for change, whether it's political change, geopolitical conflict that's going on, I think it is a natural point in time to really dive into what you own in your portfolio. Okay, I think a lot of times people take a set it and forget it approach when it comes to their investments, when really we should be, the closer we get to retirement, we should be making adjustments along the way, because when you lose money close to retirement, that loss is amplified, okay? I think that one of the most important things that we kind of abide by is this idea that losses hurt you more than gains help you the closer we get to retirement. Losses hurt more than gains help. And to me, it's not always about making money.
Right.
Okay. At some point, it becomes just as important, if not more important, to protect what you have. And so you should look at this idea of potentially bucketing your money, taking a piece of your portfolio, making it totally safe so that you have confidence to know that if the market goes down, you have a piece of your portfolio that's 100% protected from uncertainty and protected from market risk. So adjusting your portfolio is a great exercise in any year as we get into year end, but I'd say more so this year, given that we're heading into a very important political season here.
Absolutely. And a lot of people have so many questions and concerns regarding that. Also, regulatory changes, which is what we just tapped on a little bit. But Nick, can we take a little bit more? Estate tax caution. Let's talk a little bit about that if we could.
So again, with changes on the political landscape, one thing we've been talking about, I feel like all year, taxes are on sale, but taxes aren't just income taxes.
Yeah, that's right.
Estate taxes are a major thing. And, here in Maryland, they're fairly reasonable, I guess, but we can anticipate those dropping as well.
So Nick, what is the estate tax? Like, for our viewers that don't know what estate tax is, just give a brief overview of what it actually is and why people should actually care about it.
So the estate tax, it's not an inheritance tax. It's the tax on the value of your assets, your estate, which includes your investments, your house, any life insurance proceeds that you have. And in Maryland, it's over $5 million. If you pass away and your estate is under that, then you don't have to worry about estate taxes. If it's above that, then there could be a problem. On the federal level, it's significantly higher, $11+ million. But the concern is that those will drop. And there's been proposals to bring the federal one down to, what, 3?
Yeah, well, I mean,
maybe lower than that. And in Maryland, I would expect that if the federal government lowers the estate tax threshold, Maryland will come down as well. They're not going to have a higher tax, estate tax exemption, but it's something that people come to us and they put together an estate plan. But if that estate plan is susceptible to a regulation change, you need to adjust it as well.
It sounds like what you're saying is that it's a death tax, right? If
sure.
you're wealthy and you're over the limit, whatever that limit may be, you may be hit with a death tax when you pass away just for doing the right thing and accumulating money, right? So regulatory changes are across the board, whether it's estate tax or, changes to Social Security that could be coming, changes to, like the Secure Act was passed a couple years ago. That had huge changes. A lot of changes probably on the horizon. That's why monitoring the political landscape is so important.
100%.
But look, we also realize that people have full-time jobs and they cannot manage this stuff on their own, not because they're not smart enough to do it. It's just because they don't have the time, right? But when you work with an advisor who's constantly doing maintenance on your financial plan, you're going to be made aware of these changes as they happen. So I think that's really an important part of the ongoing maintenance that everyone should be doing on their financial plan.
Sure. And finally, Prashant, one more I want to ask you. Investment strategy adjustments, the importance of diversifying your investments.
Yeah, and to me, diversification, traditional diversification is that we would have a combination of things like stocks and bonds and mutual funds so that our portfolio doesn't all go up or all go down at the same time. And that always made a lot of sense to me, but we take diversification just one step further. And what we do is we use what we call alternative options to help people balance their retirement portfolios. There's actually a really cool tool out there becoming very popular. It's actually called a fixed indexed annuity, okay? And I know a lot of people hear things about annuities, and there's always going to be pros and cons. And I'm not saying a fixed indexed annuity is the right thing for every person, but a fixed indexed annuity is an actual account for which you get 100% principal protection. So if I put $500,000 into this fixed indexed annuity, and the next day the market crashes, I haven't lost a single penny of my principal. But if the market goes up, I have the potential to grow my money safely. And once I earn interest, let's say my 500 grows by $25,000 for the year. If my 500,000 grows, my 525 is my new floor. I cannot lose off of that number. And so what people are starting to do is they're diversifying their portfolio by still using the traditional stocks and bonds that I think have a great track record, but we're adding in alternative asset classes to provide an additional layer of security and protection, okay? And so if you haven't been exposed to what these options are or whether or not they may be the right thing for you, come on in, visit, and let's dive into your retirement plan. It doesn't necessarily mean that you will make a change, but what it does mean is that you will be armed with the appropriate information to make the very best decisions for yourself. That phone number, 833-308-5200. This is the last opportunity for today's program to book that complimentary consultation with our team of specialists. You're going to dial this phone number, 833-308-5200. You can also pull out your smartphone, scan the QR code, schedule that appointment, and let's put together your written retirement plan, your Retire Smart roadmap, get you on track to the retirement that you deserve.
Prashant, thank you so much. Nick, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, most specifically, thank you for spending time with us today on Retire Smart Maryland. That number, 833-308-5200. Be safe, be happy, be blessed. We'll see you back 1 week from today. Take care now.